Hi, I'm Tom, and this is the HAILaGEEK App.
Okay, so yeah, actually, it's two apps. On the right, in the yellow, we have the customer app, and on the left, in the blue, we have the Geek app, also known as the Technician app. All right, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the Technician app here. Notice there are some red dots and some green dots. The green dots are where a customer's viewing the map on their app right now looking for a geek, and the red dots are where the customer sometime in the last 2 hours was viewing the map looking for a geek. All right, so this geek is ready to start his work for the day. So it's telling him right now he's not appearing on the customer app map. So he's going to click the available button to start appearing. And it's going to have him check his rates, make sure they look good. They look good, so he's going to click submit. All right, so now the geek is actually showing up on the map. And he's the green G with the cap on, and he can zoom out and again see those red and those green dots to see where things are going on in the app. All right, so let's switch over to the customer app for a minute. I'm just going to take you through a really quick scenario here. Notice the customer sees two of these green Gs, which are available geeks on the app. And the first thing they're going to do is they notice it says, where do you need a geek? So they're going to click HAILaGEEK here at your GPS location. So they're going to do that. Now it asks them what category of help they need. They could actually click several different categories if they needed to. Wi-Fi, PC repair, general business IT help. But for this demo, they're just going to click general business IT help. It's all they need right now. So they're going to click continue. And it's asking them any specifics they want to add. We're going to do a really simple one. They just need a new PC set up. They're going to click Show Me the Geeks. All right, it takes them down to one geek. It's a geek they used before. And remember, it was two geeks on the screen a minute ago, but now it's only one because this happens to be the only one in the area who can do general business IT help. And the reason this geek has a halo over their head is because this customer used this geek before and they selected him as a favorite. And anytime a customer has selected a geek as a favorite, when they show up on the map again, they have this cool little halo over their head showing that they're a favorite. Now they can see them not only on the map view, but they can also, at the bottom right here, they could click list view and see the same geek. And so they can click that geek and see some details. They could also click them on the map, by the way. Now they can see some more detail about them. They have a 5.0 rating for 2 jobs. They've got 5-star rating. And they can see their rate by the minute. In addition to by the hour now, they could click their skills and see they have a 5 out of 5, a fabulous skill level in general business IT help. And they could click to see their reviews. And they look at those reviews and they see that this geek actually has a couple of stellar reviews and 5 stars on both of them. And so they're really impressed. They're going to go ahead and click Pick Roy Smith. All right, so it's going to ask him a couple of quick optional questions. These are great questions just to give the geek a better idea of what's going on. Do you have another estimate? They're going to click yes. That other estimate was for on-site, and this other company wanted $400 to set up this new PC. Wow. All right, let's click Let's Get Started. So when they do that, the Geek app is going to spring to life and let the geek know that they have a new job request that they need to respond to within 60 seconds. Notice it's already counting down on both the Geek app and the customer app. So it's letting the customer know we're expecting an answer from this geek within this time frame. And so now the geek is actually going to click Respond to Client on their app. And notice the geek has these helpful answers to these questions that were asked, in addition to just the basic description. It's a new PC setup, and it's letting them know there's already a quote, and it was for $400. So now the geek can respond. I can help with that for a lot less than that other quote. And the customer sees that and they're like, oh, that's great. They're going to ask, can you quote exactly how much? And now the geek is going to respond, sure, I just need to travel there first to see everything that needs to be set up. I'm nearby and you'd only pay my low travel rate. Then I could give you a very accurate quote. Again, I'm sure much less than that other quote. All right, he sends that. Customer thinks that sounds great. So they're going to say, come on over. Now the geek's going to make this official. They're going to click accept the job request to start travel. The customer is going to get this official request to approve for the geek to start their travel. So they're going to click approve. Now the geek gets a pop-up letting them know that the customer has approved the trip. They see the exact address where they're going to be going, and they have a couple of navigation options. They can navigate over there with Google Maps or Waze. For now, we're just going to click Google Maps, and it's going to take us over to Google Maps, which is going to plot the route and offer to navigate us there. Notice on the customer side, they can actually track this geek and see a route they might be taking. They can actually see them moving in real time over to the customer location. Of course, I'm just recording this demo in my office right now, so we're not going to see that actually happen, but I'll show you that on a future demo. Meanwhile, we're going to switch back over to the Geek app, and we're going to pretend that the geek has actually made the trip, and the geek's going to click I have arrived. All right, that's going to let the customer know that the geek is on site. Now, in a lot of jobs, the geek will actually be finding the customer and talking to them in person. But in some cases, the customer is actually going to be someone in a different office or a IT manager who's out of town or something like that, who's looking for some on-site hands. And so they're going to be managing this job from a remote location. And so that's why all this detail is being shared from app to app. For this job, just in case the customer is actually somewhere in a different location than where the work is actually going to be done. So that explanation aside, the geek is now looking at the job and they see, oh yeah, this is really a pretty simple PC setup, so they're ready to enter the job estimate. So at the bottom right of the hand of the Geek app, they're going to click Enter Job Estimate. And now they're just going to enter how long it's going to take. Again, it's a really simple job. I think it's just going to take 45 minutes. Now they do have the option of entering a firm flat fee quote for this job. So while based on just time, it was going to charge the customer $56 if they wanted to, they could just enter a flat $50. I'm sure that would make the customer very happy. But for this demo, we're going to switch back to doing it based on time. So they're going to enter that 45 minutes, and it's going to tell the customer that it's going to cost about $56. Now notice over here on the customer app, the customer sees how long the geek thinks it's going to take and what the charge is going to be, that $56.25 plus some sales tax. and the customer's super happy about this. So at the bottom right of the customer app, they're going to click approve. All right, so over on the Geek app, it has let the geek know that the customer has approved the estimate and that the geek probably better go to job control and click begin work so that their time will start counting up and they'll actually get paid for some work. All right, notice they click that, and on both the Geek app and the customer app, we see the work timer counting up. Every time a minute crosses, the customer app is actually going to update the customer on what their current total charge is, and we're going to allow a little time for that to happen. While we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to tell you about a few more features here. You notice there's a take a break button on the Geek app. That's if the geek needed to go to lunch or actually had been working on the job all day and needed to go home and get some sleep and come back the next day. Take a break is for both of those scenarios. And notice there's another option down at the bottom called interlabor hours reduction. This is in case the geek gets a personal phone call or gets a job, a phone call from another client, or for some other reason they didn't get a chance to click the take a break button. But in all honesty, for a little while they've been working on something else that was not related to this job, and they don't want to charge the customer for that. So they would click interlabor hours reduction and just enter the time for how much that was, like a 5-minute phone call or a 15-minute phone call from another client where they got pulled aside. In any case, that is what that button is for. It's so that you don't charge the customer for something that you had to stop and do that wasn't really related to the job. So, with those things explained, notice on the customer app now the current charge has gone up some because a minute has gone by and it's adding that charge up. Just to finish up this demo real quick, let's pretend that this geek was super amazing fast at setting up this new PC and he's already done, so he's going to click job finish. Now it's asking him to make sure the job is finished before he clicks this, because it's actually really difficult to go back into the job if not and add some more time. So he's going to check with the customer to make sure the customer's really happy with how the PC is set up, to make sure everything's in the right place. The customer doesn't need anything else while he's there. He's just going to make sure with the customer that the customer is super satisfied that the job is finished. And then the geek is going to click confirm that the job is completed. All right, so it's letting the geek know the job's been marked as completed. The geek is now free to go and is actually back at their dashboard and their map, and they can see where some other people in the city might be looking for some work to be done. In any case, they're free and ready to take on another job. On the customer app, now it's time for the customer to read their final invoice, and they can click approve. At the bottom, they're going to click the work appears okay because, of course, the geek already showed them everything and the customer's super happy, so they're going to click the work appears okay.
So that's it for this demo. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to be adding a lot more videos showing a lot more of the other features. See you soon.